That was the Britannicas, friends of the show, with Come On Boys from High Tea. Before that was brand new music from Robin Hitchcock. And this track was a collaboration with I Was King from Sweden. Fairies, The Man Upstairs being the new release. And The Luck of Eden Hall, that was the B-side of the single you heard last week, The Happiness Vending Machine, that was called Anthropoda Leopoda. Why do you give me these titles? Lepidoptera. Okay, that's my guess anyway. Lilu Dallas Multipass with Tell Me That Baby's Name. That's a demo at this point. And from the album Giant, you heard Jimmy Town from Dorian Taj. And the Red Plastic Buddha was in there, and they'll be at Burlington September 11th with Moses Gunn and Rogue Satellites. From Songs Tomorrow, we played Go. And we started with the Click Beatles and Bubblegum from their latest Wake Up to Music. We have the band Hushdrops in the house. We're going to play a track from their new album tomorrow. We're going to play it right now. We'll talk more about it when I get over into the other room. Razor's going to be under the controls here. If you have any questions or anything of that nature, you can give us a call, 773-508-9589. When there's music playing, when we're talking, please don't call. This is WLUW. For more information about Hushdrops, stay tuned because they're here in the studio. Razor, take over.
Now?
The Razor and Dice Show, WLUW.
I don't know where we're going. Have we gone too far? Have we gone too far? Would you believe I'm just trying to prove if you just look at me? Well, I think you agree that we've gone too far. I don't know where we're going. Have we gone too far? Have we gone too far? No second hand will give you the answer. You take every
This is the Razor and Dice Show, WLUW. I'm here with Hushdrops in the studio. We were just listening to a track from their brand new album, Tomorrow, and that was Have We Gone Too Far? And we have not gone too far. We finally got them in here. In fact, we didn't go far enough. It took long enough to get you in here. And John's here and Jim's here, and Joe is out in the rain. And at the Hideout Block Party. We didn't time this perfectly, but it only makes us have you come back again.
I mean,
if play live.
If you wanted Joe to get wet, I'd say you timed it.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't have timed it better.
Okay, and you've already had your record release party for this album.
Yeah.
So the show that's going to be at Hideout is going to be a different kind of show. Then it won't be a CD release party.
That's a celebration, really.
A celebration, okay.
A record celebration.
Okay, and you're going to be playing with Nora O'Connor. That's kind of a strange combination.
Well, she's on the record.
Okay.
So
there's a limit to how strange it could possibly be, really.
yeah. So, I don't know if that makes it any more or less strange.
No, it doesn't. Probably equally strange.
But yeah, no, the genesis of doing the show together was that, she sings on a couple of the songs,
Okay.
that one included, and he was like, the fact is, the only way to get everyone together at this point, like, hey, do you want to sing a song with us? It's like, well,
give them the whole
Right.
half of the show.
yeah, you know what? If we both happen to be playing somewhere on the same night, we could probably do it. But
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And why did you choose Hideout for this particular celebration?
why not?
Have you ever played out at Hideout before?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it was an educated choice.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've always been good shows, I think, and just as people, not even as performers, but just as people who like to enjoy music, there's not many places I like more.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
How did the record release show go?
Oh, it went great. The record, I mean, the record came out, we played. It was everything you would have expected, really.
Just the way it's supposed to go. Yeah, exactly.
And it's on vinyl, and it's on CD, and it's
Yeah.
on download somewhere, right? In cyberspace.
Oh, I would hope that people are,
Savvy enough.
savvy enough to steal it if they need, if that's their thing,
Yeah, the stolen copies play great. So
Yeah. Certainly, it doesn't. It doesn't sound any better, or worse. But and the LP, which I think we're all.
Which is a double LP if you're having it on vinyl. If you have it on CD, it's like a super long album.
Yeah,
And it's 22 tracks if you don't know.
We're all sitting here looking at it right now. Actually,
Yeah. I know if you're watching on Video Vision, we're watching the album while you're watching us watching the album. And if you're not, then you're not really technologically savvy after all, right?
Well, I think these are your audience they're imaginative people,
Okay. And what was the, speaking of the album cover, what was the design inspiration for this cover?
Well, I'm trying to think. There's been a super, like the logo problem was solved a long time ago. Someone really, I don't even know who was it.
Oh,
I was in the band when
it was me, and I'm sure it was a secondhand idea. I think actually I'd taken it from a Beatles bootleg.
Exactly, right.
And just thought, you know what?
We're going with it.
It's ours now.
Statute of limitations?
Well, I've never been chased by a bootlegger, So we had the logo, and then, 10 years later, we're getting around to putting out a second record. What's this going to look like? Mm-hmm. You want some amount of continuity, but how much,
And where we got, we kind of realized that what we wanted was a kind of circa 1977 grandeur to it that only earth tones could capture. Like we needed to go brown. Like things just had to. It was time to go brown, and
yeah,
I think we did that.
I mean,
I'm surprised there's no big texture. I would think there would be more of a canvas texture.
Yeah, we may have cheaped out on the texture a little, if I'm being honest. But and the idea,
it looks like it
talking
needs
about
texture. Yeah,
like say Harvest or something by
Yeah,
Neil Young, or
yeah.
Court and Spark by Joni Mitchell. That
That's very 70s.
Those, yeah, but so yeah, divorce rock basically.
Yeah.
And the fact is, it should have been made on wheat or something.
Right. Yeah, 73 maybe is more like it, I suppose.
Yeah, but right, like your mom
What's
would
your
buy
modern
this.
twist on the 73 album kind of thing, right? Maybe. Yeah.
Well, and just and a double album is very
Right, exactly.
That's quite mid 70s in its own way.
So is the reason behind so many tracks because you're very prolific and you put out a lot of tunes that you need to...
It didn't seem that way.
What would an alternative theory be? I'm trying to think.
The alternative theory? The alternative theory would be if you were a jam band, you probably couldn't put out 22 tracks even on 2 discs.
No.
But you could probably do that only with 2 or 3 tracks.
Right, right.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So even though a song can be 5 minutes long, it could still be a pop song. That's what I'm getting from your music.
I'd
It
say
doesn't have to be
that's a
3
good-
minutes.
I'd say
3 minutes to be
we'd
a
all
pop
swear to
song.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because your songs are very pop. They're not at all like Neil Young in 1973. They're more pop. In my opinion, we all have opinions, and so. But in my opinion, they're more pop songs than your divorce, heartbreak 70s hippie songs.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, and and I guess the earth tone thing too is you put out a record, you put out your second record 10 years down the line, you're all 10 years older too. So like I guess you're kind of aging it in some way. It's like,
and your colors fade.
yeah, if we could have put a little gray hair in the artwork, I suppose we would have.
Yeah, you won't believe the next one. You wouldn't even recognize the next one.
So it's volume 1 and tomorrow. How are you going to call the next album using 3? Is that what you're going to go for?
Oh God, I feel strangely unprepared for
No,
this
seriously.
lineup. Next album?
We're allowed to still talk
Oh yeah,
about this one.
Yeah.
yeah. We may not be there yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, after 22 songs, you can take a break and get them ready and come up with the next theme.
Yeah, you've sort of caught us while we're coasting, I'd say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you planning? Any tours
We are
around the
in
area
fact.
or outside of the area?
We are, yeah, and again for the first time in seemingly forever, we're going around and just doing these little circles around the Midwest, playing. And I did a circular motion for those of you who are just merely getting the audio component of this. But yeah, we're playing Peoria and Madison and Kenosha, and I think we're just going to keep that going when we're all free. As we all, Jim has just made a rather active return to his old band, and they're touring plenty. And both Joe and I are also involved in concerns. So a lot of this is just, this is great. All 3 of us have a weekend available, and then you find yourself planning things 6 months in advance on that basis.
That's amazing, being so busy and yet able to be so prolific. That's pretty good.
It's not horrible. Yeah.
And then you have families and obligations, and that's great. Is that where you get all your inspiration, your busy lives?
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose you play what you live, you know.
So if you weren't so busy, you wouldn't have 22 songs.
Difficult to prove.
Oh,
I don't know.
God, yeah. I mean,
I don't know how you'd prove that.
yeah, I know a guy, who
Okay. Well, we have selected a number of songs from this album, and let's see, what would we like to play as the next one? I'm going to see what you chose and see if I can put a little decision in this one. I know one song is a friend of ours, a mutual friend's favorite on there. You chose one of those. That's interesting. And let me see. What is the track "This Town" about? I don't think I've played that one yet.
be funny. I wrote it. I would like to hand it over to Jim because it just seems like a funny thing to do.
Oh man, that's really good. John's going through a lot. Yeah, no, I can't even. Yeah, I think you got to play this one straight.
No, fair enough. Basically, I think anyone can reach a point in their life, circumstantially, where their own environment, for however expansive it may seem, you may live in some city of millions of people, but suddenly it becomes it closes in on you a little and becomes very insular and confining, perhaps. So that's the main thrust of the lyrics.
Okay. Well, we're gonna share that track right now. It's called "This Town." It's on the album Tomorrow. This is the band Hushdrops. If you just walked in, this is WLUW, the Razor and Die Show. We're with the band Hushdrops, and this is them on WLUW.
This town doesn't matter what you say, it gets harder every day. This town makes no difference. What I do isn't good enough for you, and you know it. Wish you did know it too, and you show it. Wish you did show it too. I get tired of smiling and pretending, tired of hiding, tired of and you know it. Wish you did know it too, and you show it. Wish you did show it too, and you know it. Wish you did know it too, and you show it. Wish you did show it too.
Okay, we're back in the studio, and that was Hushdrops, who are in the studio with us. The track we just shared was "This Town." We're going to talk a little bit about the artist who is currently on the list of bands playing at the Hideout next week, next Thursday, September 11th at Hideout. This is Nora O'Connor that we've been talking about. We're going to mention her again because we're going to play a track from some music you brought in for us. And the track that you selected of Nora's is Bottoms. And what release was that one on?
Oh my God, I can't remember what her first album's called. She's gonna kill me. I selected it because the title seemed intriguing.
Okay. Okay. And we were talking before, if you just walked in and found that we were on the air, we were talking about the fact that Nora O'Connor plays and sings with you guys on occasion, and so she's going to play at the Hideout gig.
Yeah.
And so that we want to give her a little kudos on her music, and also play one that she's on the album, which is the title track of Tomorrow. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you said she plays in two?
She sings on Tomorrow, and she's on the song that you introed us with,
Right.
Have We Gone Too Far?
So those two. Okay, well, that's nice to have those in your pocket, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think it's both of us, Jim and I and Joe, I think we'd both gone to see her in on a number of occasions with, I think just playing with other people, with Kelly Hogan and the Flat Five.
Flat Five, yeah.
And
Well, I still have to see.
Oh, yes, you do.
they're kind of stunning,
Kind of
really.
wonderful, yeah. That's what I heard.
You'll keep going back. But on that basis, it just seemed like, my God, if we were to expand the vocal, footprint on the record, Nora is just the first person that one would call.
And I have to say, I had yet to start playing with a band when the previous record, when Volume 1 came out. And, I'd gone to see John and Joe and whoever that other guy was, back in...
Shall remain lean.
I know, I can't remember, who was playing with you, in 93, 94, when I first started seeing you guys, who was playing...
I mean, that was probably Ted Lacosio.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, Ted, that sounds right. And... I had sort of a notion of what you guys sounded like that had pretty much stayed where it was for a number of years as I continued to go see you. And then when I heard the record for the first time, I was really surprised. And I mean, I feel like I can say this because I wasn't in the band at the time, and just it was really intriguing and effective, like how you were ready to let other people sing on it. I feel like there was some feeling there are some really good singers out there too. Let's get them on here.
Oh, sure.
It's good. Just not being sort of afraid of sharing the wealth a little bit. And so, because I'm trying to think, how many guest singers did you have on
Volume 1?
On Volume 1, there's
several,
a bunch, and I would keep hearing more tracks with just voices that I wasn't expecting to hear, and it really did give it a kind of a depth that I feel like bands can sort of stick to their guns a little bit and sort of say, well, we're the singers around here, and I guess it'll sound like us no matter what what we'll do. And I was not expecting, and was very, very pleasantly surprised with how much you were ready to get into that back then. And it still works. The trick still works.
Well, when you're generous, it's going to show. And if you're generous with sharing with other people in your band, it's just going to benefit you, I think. Unless, of course, you come in with an attitude like, well, I don't want to share, so it's going to stink.
Well, I mean, in some way, it's no different than something like "School's Out" by Alice Cooper, where the children are such a predominant part of the character of the record, and it's just like, okay, well, there's a sound here that would clearly be to the benefit of this record, and it isn't going to come from me,
right? Like just because the three dudes in the band can't make that sound doesn't mean it's not a good sound.
Let's not badmouth the sound. Yeah,
right. So.
Oh yes, let's badmouth Alice Cooper. No, that would not be a good thing, especially so close to Halloween.
No, and I suspect he's after all he's done for me, actually, I'd be a little uncomfortable doing that.
Before we play Nora O'Connor, and we're going to play the track Tomorrow, which is the title track of the album, we're going to let you know that we have a copy of Tomorrow on CD that during this break that we have, we're going to offer to the first person that calls. Don't call now. If the phone starts ringing now, we're going to hang up on you. 773 508-9589. That's 773-508-9589. Call when the music starts. And I want to let you know that you're listening to WLUW Chicago, and this is the band Hushdrops here in the studio. We're here for another half an hour with them, and we hope that if you have any questions, you can give us a call at that number I just gave, or you can also type in Razor and Die Show at Facebook, and you can type in your questions then if you have any questions that you'd like to share. Otherwise, we'll take it from here, and Razor's going to go on to track number 16, which is Nora O'Connor, and we will be back after these two tracks on WLUW, the Razor and Die Show.
journeyed up north to the land of the snow. Well, it might be alright for you and your kin, but I'm going back to the bottoms again. I'm going back to the bottoms again. I'll get back there some sweet day. I'll get back there some sweet day.
We're back. This is WLEW and the Razor and Dice Show. I'm here with Hushdrops, and we just were playing Tomorrow from their album of the same name. And I would like to ask you a question for people who have not been listening or people who have been listening, people who do know your band and people who don't know your band. If someone were to stop you on the street and ask you, what do you do with your life? And you said you were in a band and they said, well, what do you sound like? What would you say to them?
Hushdrops? I mean, there's a certain transparency that...
I might say, who are you?
Oh, sure. Sure. No, I mean...
What is this conversation we're having now?
Where are you leading with this? Do I know you?
Sure, there's a lot of things I want to get to.
Okay, and then you found out that they were okay, and they were okay to speak with, and they weren't asking you for money or any of that, and they were really curious as to what your band sounded like. What could you tell them very quickly before you ran out of there?
Oh, I mean, I would probably just mention that, that it's a trio for one thing, that it's
Okay.
a guitar, bass, drums trio with, with everybody sings, and, sort of like, I guess, post-punk people playing Bread or something like that, hopefully has some of the finesse of a lot of the, the older music that, the three of us really like, but, the energy of just three people playing together.
Okay. And if that same person said, what did you grow up listening to? What would you tell them if you only had a couple minutes left?
Oh, God! I mean, right when I was tuning out my parents, what was what was I hearing? Right? I mean, and then they seem like very trad or stock answers, but I think any of the three of us, could say the Beatles or the Who or. What would you?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, ELO. How would it? I mean, I feel like when I first started playing with you, well, we played Tommy that first summer, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
we
yeah,
certainly
I
did.
feel like the Who has always really been on the table in terms of, here we are again, a three-piece band. We're all going to sing. Now, how do we solve that's how we're going to solve the problem of any song we have to play, kind of.
Oh, sure. No, it was almost like
how would the Who circa 1967 solve this problem?
Absolutely. No, I think that's completely accurate. Yeah.
And we just kind of do it that way and see where that see if that answered the question, and if it didn't, then we'd have to keep going. But that's certainly where we'd start.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you're not claiming in any way like, well, yes, if you like the Who, we sound like the Who, but certainly.
But as a strategy for approaching,
the methodology is definitely like, well, just throw some Who at it, and
things should clear up pretty quickly.
Oh God, that's your answer for everything.
Okay, on the same vein, though. Okay, if you were able to, because with no problems with the fact that some people are still alive and some people are not, if you were able to get the four members of the Who together in a room and play one song, your song or their song or anybody else's song, you had one chance to play one song, what would that one song be?
A song with them?
No, for them.
Oh, for
They're
them.
your audience. What song would you wow them with? You had one chance to play one song for the Who.
I'm going back to Bread. Make it with you.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, I think that's a perfectly valid answer. I mean, I think I feel like we do a pretty good convoy. Quite honestly,
It's true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what you would wow the Who with. Okay.
I don't know that
Very
that-
interesting
I mean,
answer.
I really don't know how much attention they'd be capable of paying, honestly, if you could get them back together.
Oh, sure. And I mean, and they're all hearing impaired at
I
this
was going to
point.
say,
I mean,
what are they going to get out of it, really?
Evidently, John Entwistle,
Oh, man.
not long before he passed away, we have a friend who was friends with him, and I think worked for him or the Who in some capacity. And remember her telling me, "Oh, John Entwistle really likes your record, really likes your song." And the only thing I could think of was, this man with very widely known hearing problems.
Say, like, sounds
Hearing
great.
difficulty. They're fantastic.
Well, the music just, he didn't have to hear it to like it, I guess, obviously.
No, and neither do you, good people.
It just had to be that good. He didn't even need ears to hear you. Okay, we're going to go back to the first album, and we're going to play Emily. And what would you like to tell us about Emily? We've heard it before on this show, and people out there who are familiar with the album have heard it. But is there something you can tell us about the song that maybe people don't know about?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you're playing along at home on an instrument, I mean, they're virtually the same chords as any number of Steely Dan songs. And that wasn't apparent to me when I was writing it, but, once it was a song on a record and in our act, like, these are, oh, God, these are really not my chords.
And I'll say that when I started playing with you guys, which is 12 years ago now it is finally, but I hadn't played bass in forever. Like, I hadn't played bass since college, and the way I tuned up was I basically just started playing a lot of Steely Dan records just to try to get up to speed again. I figured if I do that, and it turned out to be incredibly helpful.
So an unwittingly helpful strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, apparently, I'm supposed to be practicing exactly that way to play this song.
Oh no, you did seem, very. You seem very prepared.
If you can play Deacon Blues, you can play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess that's.
And we're going to play the song "Vague," which is the last song, number 22 on Tomorrow. And what would you like to tell people out there that they may not know about that song?
Well, I don't know about you, and I certainly can't ask Joe because he's not unless he calls in. But Vague might be. I mean, it may be my favorite on the record, and if push came to shove, just maybe my favorite Hushdrops song.
I certainly remember when you brought it in and when we started working it up, it felt like we were officially on a new plateau suddenly. Like, it felt like, okay, this is a whole other level.
Like we'd been promoted or
yeah,
something.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Totally. We had just leveled up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good song to end an album with, then, if that's the case. If you feel so strongly for it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, as he says that, yeah, there was a sense because it came early in the chronology of when these various songs were written, and it seemed like, all right, well, it boosted our confidence enormously.
It just felt like this is a song by a band that's making a record.
Oh yeah, it may have been the impetus behind. Okay, well, this will become a record at some point.
Right, exactly. That's how you knew it was going to be a record. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to play both of those songs, and we had some callers, but they have the record already, so we will take more callers. The first caller who calls in at 773-508-9589 can win a copy of Tomorrow while we play these two tracks, Emily from the album Volume 1, and we're going to play Vague from the album Tomorrow. Right now, this is the Razor and Die Show on WLUW. Give us a call. You can win an album. Here we go.
Well, she gave me a taste, pulled me out of the race, told me just what I wanted to hear. What a moment to for a moment with you, let alone for another year. Well, I traded my soul
We're back. This is the Razor and Dice Show. I'm here with Hushdrops. And I have a question.
Yes.
Never assume there isn't a stinger.
That's
Seriously.
not a question.
I always, when people are playing live, I can see them.
Oh, sure.
And I know.
There always could be a stinger.
I mean, I feel like when we don't have that at the end of a song, it's because someone
Forgot to put it in it?
forgot
Yeah.
to put it there. Yeah.
Totally.
So my question about your harmonies is, what is your secret behind getting them to sound the way they do? Because harmonies are not that easy. I mean, more people would do them to have really nice harmonies if it was so easy.
I mean, I will take the. I will definitely take the inferred compliment for sure.
So what is your secret behind your harmonies?
I don't know, experience. I think
Yeah, I mean, right.
if you had three people that maybe spent their childhoods singing one of the harmony parts on Knowing Me, Knowing You, or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, just like if you listen to a lot of Beach Boys records when you're a little kid.
I
when you
wish
listen-
I was hearing Beach Boys in
You
there.
know, if you spend your entire life in cars singing along with records, like eventually you get it.
Yeah, and my wife, who coincidentally we're celebrating our 6th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
today. Happy anniversary, Jennifer.
That was in lieu of a bunch of flowers. Radio.
She got those too. You can't see them, but no, she had pointed out to me that when we were driving in the, we typically would be driving in the car with the radio on or something, that she felt like that I would always sing what she called the obnoxious part in a vocal arrangement. So it'd be, whatever, in a blend of 4 voices, like there's a part that's just, save big money at Menards, or, what have you. And I'm not advocating
No.
the use, the patronage of Menards
Right, sure.
necessarily. So you put 3 people together who maybe their approach to music has been informed by doing that.
Just finding some other part that wasn't
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I think like the thing that it. The history of us playing, if we play Beatles,
Yeah.
anytime we just resort to it in practice or whatever, I'm always singing the part that I thought of when I was 4 and never knew wasn't in there because I've just been I heard it.
Sure, yeah.
Apparently,
I mean, you were singing it. You
exactly.
had every reason to hear it.
And you're both looking at me like, actually, that's not really
how
on.
it goes.
It's as if
Just trust me on this, man. It's cool.
No, whatever, the third, Virgil Everly,
No,
whatever,
totally.
the even younger brother,
Right.
theoretically that is a part you could be singing,
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So that's how you got. So you're like the third Everly brother in this band.
Right. Just,
So I guess we were the 3rd, 4th, and 5th in that respect.
right.
Okay, that's very interesting. That was a good answer to my question. Okay,
Well,
we're
right.
going to play Find Her from Tomorrow, and the other track we're going to play is Dr. V on the album, the first album, which is Volume 1, and they are 11 years apart, these 2 albums. So how long are we going to wait for the 3rd album then? Have you decided?
22 years. I'm really in no rush. I don't know about Jim or Joe.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the entertainment value that we got out of this interview. And thank you for bringing in the music. It's great. We really appreciate that as well. And then we get the vinyl, too, which is even extra great. We'll be playing that in the coming weeks. We have quite a lot of tracks to go through still.
Jim, would you like to say hello to your daughter?
I probably should. I mean, being encouraged to do that by another person is a little odd, but who isn't your partner? But hey, Jane, I don't know.
It's a partnership of sorts. Yeah.
I'm sure. Hey, Jane. Hi. I'll see you shortly.
Well, now that a precedent has been set, I suppose I should say hello to James and JB. Hi, boys. Listen to your mother, please. And listen to Razor and Die every Friday.
Okay, Razor's going to take it from here. And once more, we'd like to thank you for coming in. And if someone were to go on the internet and find you, what's the best place to send them?
I would send them either to our Facebook page or to hushdrops.net.
I saw that today, hushdrops.net.
Just type in Hushdrops and just good stuff will start happening.
Yeah, you
I
guys-
mean, it's that,
And if you find something they don't know about, let them know, please. Please let them know at their Facebook account that there's something out there they might not know about. So, okay. Once more, we're going to play 2 more tracks, one from tomorrow and one from Volume 1. This has been Hushdrops with the Razor and Die Show.